got my guy from the West Coast, another extremely awesome West Coast artist on the show. Symba, what up?
What's up with my dog, man?
Yo, don't run from rap out now. Uh, I got so much to talk to you today about.
We here, man. We gonna get into it today, man. I've been waiting to talk to you, man. We here.
I've been telling before this interview, I told you that you were one of the busiest people in 2021 already. It's only been a couple weeks in the year because you've already done so much, and
Yeah,
I think it's I want to talk about this. It's fresh out now. This Keedron Bryan and Gary Clark Jr. record. I know I've been changed out now. You were on the
yeah,
View. You performed it the other day.
yeah,
Talk to me a little bit about this record because like I thought your the way that you guys did the performance on the View was so awesome, and I know that there's like a really important meaning behind the record and the message in it.
yeah. Definitely, man. So, actually had the opportunity back in October. It was October, November, one of them, to talk to Nate Parker,
Mm-hmm.
and he was telling my homeboy Dallas, who's my A&R over at Atlantic. Nate had hit up Dallas and was like, "Yo, I need a rapper." You know what I mean? That's dope. And Dallas was like, "Yo, I got this kid. He's phenomenal." So he sent the movie over, American Skin. We was actually in Atlanta. I was working with Trey Songz. And we was actually in Atlanta, bro, and we watched the movie. And immediately I was just like, yo, I want to be a part of this. Like whatever I could do musically, like whatever I could do, I want to be a part of it. So I called Nate and we had a conversation. He was basically telling me his perspective of the song and like of the movie and what he was thinking when he made the movie. So he was just basically telling me, bro, like how we all feel as black and brown people. Like we at a point in life where we realize white supremacy ain't going nowhere,
Facts.
right?
Clearly.
So it's here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But neither are we. Neither are black and browns. We're not going nowhere either.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to find a way to come, some type of way to compromise, because if we don't, if you continue to do what you're doing to us, we're probably going to take this thing to the next level. It's not going to be no more protests. It's
Right.
not going to be no more looting. Shit's going to get fucking real. It's going to look like the Panthers is back out here. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's been feeling like lately too. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
it's getting to
getting
that
to that
point.
point. Yeah, it's getting to that point because it's not like we running around saying black lives are better.
Mm-hmm.
We just saying we matter. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like we matter. That's all. We just want to matter like everybody else.
Facts.
So when he had, told me that, just, having that conversation, I immediately felt the same exact way.
Mm-hmm.
And I got back to Cali. They sent the song over and it had Keedron on it already, and it was just open verses. So I'm like, cool. Usually when I'm making my music, I like to be a part of the hook that's being wrote and everything. I write my own, what I mean? I like to be involved in everything that's going on.
Of course.
Um, so I heard the track, bro, and I took like 2 days and I just listened to it and just wrote my thoughts down. And I went to the studio on the second day and I nailed it. It was about the fourth take. On the fourth take, I knocked it out and I sent it back. And Nate called me. He was like, "Bro, this is perfect. Like this is literally what I wanted and more." And for the movie to come out Martin Luther King weekend, we go on the View on Martin Luther King Day. I addressed Martin Luther King in the song and didn't even know the movie was being released Martin Luther King week, or we would be on the View. And shout out to Keedron because he reached out. They hit him to go in there and he hit me up like,
Oh
yo,
wow.
I want you to come on with me and let's do the song. It's a big platform for us. Like, let's make sure we take advantage. So it was just a blessing all the way around, bro, just to be a part of it, to be attached to the movie American Skin, which is one of the best movies I've seen in like the last 5 to 10 years. It's just great, bro. Gary Clark Jr., just them joints, it's a blessing.
That's amazing, man. Congrats on that because this is obviously your first major film placement, which is obviously a huge
It's
step in.
my first major film placement for me as an artist, but I've had placements for me as a writer. I've written on the Scooby Doo soundtrack, Fast and Furious, a couple other things, but this is the first time it's me as an artist and
Oh
not the
wow,
film.
I didn't even know that. That's actually like that's very dope because the Fast and Furious soundtracks are always like huge like spectacles. Like they always got
Yeah,
like crazy music videos and everything. But I'm
yeah,
sure it feels better now to be like in the forefront as an artist, not as a writer. You know, like you're in front of people's faces now instead of whoever you were writing for in the past.
Yes, bro. It feels so much better because sometimes like you make these records, and a lot of times artists get them, and I- bro, one day I'm gonna make a documentary or a 4-part series, right, about reference tracks and how sometimes the reference sounds better than what the people actually hear. I hear so
Facts.
many like singers do references and it gets to another singer and that shit is not the same fucking feeling. But it still works because it's a great fucking song.
Hmm.
But if people could actually hear the actual thing that happened before the artist got on it, and sometimes the artists take it to a new level.
Hmm.
But I want to make a series about reference tracks, man, because I've done a lot of great reference tracks and people have gotten them and it wasn't as good. And I used to just be like, fuck, I wish I had a big enough name, you know what I mean, to stay on this record. But I understand the business and I didn't have a name at the time. So, now that I'm, getting a name and my name is getting bigger,
Hmm.
they gave me the opportunity now, bro. So I'm thankful for it.
I feel like that's party next door. You know what I'm saying? Like every couple months or every year, a few party next door, Rihanna or other artists like reference tracks will release, and
Yeah.
you'll be like, why didn't Party keep this for himself? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Not
man.
saying that it's worse, like you said. It's not like Rihanna did it worse. Like she did her own thing on it. It just so
Yeah.
happens that like you might like how Party did it, instead of Rihanna. So I think that that's kind of funny, and it's always interesting hearing like a writer slash artist perspective of the whole situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, nah, definitely. Cause man, I grew up with a lot of writers. You know what I mean? So we share a lot of different ideas. I call a lot of my friends and bro, what you think of this? Ooh, and they're nah, change this, move this around. Got you. So it's a lot of that's never seen. You know what I
Right.
mean? They just see kind of what the artist gets and the artist gets the credit for it. So I'm always bigging up the writer and producer community, man. Shout out to them.
No, 100%, they deserve it. And yo, so I also saw, we were talking a little bit about Guap Dad before this interview, and something that I spoke to Guap Dad about, and I could also speak to you about, is you guys were both on E-40 and Two Shorts collab project that dropped after their versus battle. You
Yeah,
were on the song with just them. It was just you and them, correct?
yeah, yeah.
And how, as someone from the Bay, how does that feel? How did that feel for you when you had that moment?
Man, bro, it's I always say, bro, once you start getting big features with your idols and shit like that, it's kind of like when an NBA player gets drafted. Like it's that moment of validation, like, okay, I belong, like I'm here, So now it's all about what system do I fit in and how hard am I gonna go? You know what I mean? How much I'm gonna practice. So with that situation, 40 had reached out and that was just a blessing in itself, him hitting me up like, yo, I see what you're doing, I'm fucking with you. And then I was like, man, appreciate you, Unc. I'm just excited, what I mean, that he hit me. And he was like, I got something for you. I want to get you on. I'm like, me? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the water? Well, me or
You was
something?
ready to throw your phone across the room. You was like,
Oh, send it over. Send it over right
I'll have it
now.
back to you by tonight.
Man, he sent that shit like late on a Tuesday night. I had it back to him Wednesday. It was right back to him. So it was a blessing, bro. Like and then with the versus platform and them dropping the with the eyes being on the bay and them dropping a joint project and being a part of it, bro. And also Capolo is on that song as well. Young dude out the bay that's going crazy right now. Shout out to him. And yeah, bro, it was dope, bro. It was a blessing, man, to be able to work with him.
Man, I love that, and I love how you and Guap both have very animated reactions to this, cause
Yeah.
like, cause Guap had like a very similar like me, like you know what I'm saying, like
That's
it.
how it is, bro, because we grow up idolizing them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's me and Guap's like reference as a kid on how to grow up and move through the bay. You know what I
Right.
mean? And apply game to what you're doing. That's what we grew up on. So when they reach out, it's like you usually the one like, hey, can I get you on something? Monk? Can I get you on something? And he turned it down. But when they reach out, it's like, holy shit. Like, You gotta really
Yeah.
look at the phone a few times, like, damn, this is
That's
really
something I
important.
respect about Chal out there on the West Coast. Y'all do a really good job of connecting, you know, the older generation with the younger generation, which is I feel like something that we don't always get here in New York because you know I feel like obviously New Yorkers we got egos. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I got ego, but you know, like New York artists, certain artists have egos, and I feel like that's why you don't always get the connection. You know what I'm saying? But I
I think
respect that
that's
I get to see that with Chal, you know, because that's like magic, you know what I'm saying? Like seeing you and Guap on a track with E-40 and Too Short. It's like what? It's like that's a
yeah,
shit you wouldn't even think about, but it's really cool that it works still, and everybody's like friends in the situation.
yeah. No, it's a beautiful thing, bro. Like real beautiful thing. I'm forever grateful for that opportunity, man. Shout out to Unc. Y'all go get that that joint album Too Short and 40, man. It's out right now.
And so before that came out, we had your project, right? The Don't Run From Rap, fourth quarter.
Yes,
I
sir.
think that you had one of the strongest albums of December too, you know, because and what I particularly like about your project is that I feel like the first couple records on the project are like like you know what I'm saying, like I'm for real, touch the sky, and reality is like just you. It's raw. It's like you kind of telling like your story and like the shit that you've seen, and then as you go down in the project you get a little more like commercial joints, so it's
Yeah,
like the best of both worlds on that. But I specifically want to talk about those first three records because like
yeah,
in one of them I think it's I'm for real that you talking your shit, right? And
yeah,
then
yeah,
by the time that we get to reality is, you know, it's not like a depressing song, but you're
yeah.
really like kind of talking about how people have all these dreams and aspirations, and you know sometimes these people who are trying to come out of the Bay Area or whatever, you know, whatever hood you're from, it might not happen, it might not work out, and like I guess that's a part of the world that we live in. But I wanted to talk about those three records because I feel like they were really powerful in different ways.
Definitely. So exactly what you said, bro, was my vision with the project. I was like, how do I get people to understand who I am right away? You know, like I don't want to waste no time. I want people to get it. So one, I'm a very energetic person. Very, and I'm having a hard time right now sitting still. You
Me
know,
too.
so
I be shaking my leg, bro, like I
bro,
have
if
that
you
same
can
shit,
see my
yeah.
legs right now, I'm over here. I'm
That's
over, I'm
I'm dead
over
as
here.
the same way.
Yeah, so I'm very energetic. So I wanted to kick it off with just my presence of how I'm coming in the rap game. Boom! I'm here. Ain't no games being played. I'm in the building. Hello, what's up, everybody? I'm here. My name is Symba. What's going on? But this is what I'm about. I used to trap all night just to cop off white. I used to think all whites looked at me like I ain't right. You should talk to me nice. If not, then it's on sight. Duck for cover, motherfucker. If not, you lose your life. I grew up around that, right? I'm trying to touch the money before I touch the sky because everybody I see around me died trying to get the money. Everybody I see around me died trying to reach their goal and reach their dreams in life.
Mhm.
So I wanted people to know this is who I am and this is what I see and this is what I come from. But I'm trying to go beyond that. I'm trying to grow beyond that. And with growing beyond that, you have to understand certain things about life. One main thing about life, everybody ain't gonna make it, bro.
Mhm.
Everybody ain't gonna get to where they feel they belong to be. And that's reality is. Reality is, bro, most of us ain't gonna make it rapping. Most of us ain't gonna make it trapping. For every person that make it rapping, it's 200 people that don't. Maybe fucking 2 million with all these rappers out here. For every
Right.
person that makes it to the league, right, it's what, 300 players a year drafted.
Not yeah, probably not even that.
Not even that, like 60 something or 100 something players out of millions and millions and millions of people who's playing basketball, right? These selective few made it. How many people went to jail for selling drugs and how many people actually beat the system and is living a good life and don't have to look over their shoulder no more? Very fucking few. You know, so most of us ain't gonna make it, bro. And I just wanted to kick the perspective of these are the things I think about, and this is who I am, and this is what I'm standing on as an artist before we get into the, you know, the commercial songs and get to having fun. I wanted to establish my identity as an artist first.
Right, and you know, since we're gonna get into the commercial records, I think, well, obviously the big homie with Two Chains, I know is one of the standouts of the project. But something that
Yeah,
really was an interesting record for me was Follow Me with Moneybagg Yo, OT Genesis, Too Short, and Justin LeBoy. And
yeah,
why I find it's such an interesting record is because it's just like this group of people you've assembled for this record is just fucking like it doesn't make sense, but it works. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously Justin LeBoy, yo, shout out Justin LeBoy. I did an interview with him a few weeks ago. That man is crazy.
Yes, my
I love how
brother
he
right
did like
there.
he had his little part on it. And then OT Genesis and Too Short obviously bring that West Coast flair, and then Moneybag Yo is on there too. And I'm like, this and of course yourself. It's just like it somehow it worked. I don't know how
Yeah,
the hell you did it, but you
yeah,
brought everybody together on this record, and it made sense somehow, even though it shouldn't.
yeah. I love that you said that, bro.
Like
I love it.
it doesn't make sense. You look at the record, you're like, what the fuck? Like, cause like most people may not know Justin LeBoy as an artist, they know him as a meme page. And so
Yeah,
when you go into the thing, you might be like, is that the dude from Instagram? Like like you and I know him as an artist too, but like most people
yeah,
yet. So I thought that was really funny, and I appreciated that record on the project just because of the pure insaneness of it, but it still worked really well.
yeah. No, it was fun making it too because I actually made the record. I was just playing, like I was literally in the studio playing, bro, and I was fucking. Sometimes I just be joking and saying shit. And I looked at my homie and I was like, she wanna fuck me and don't even follow me. I was looking at this girl on Instagram and I just saying it. And then my homie started playing the beat. And I just started saying this shit. She wanna fuck me and don't even follow me. Fuck me and don't even follow me. So I just started saying it. And I had 2 verses on it and it was just me originally.
Mhm,
So then me and OT work out of the same studio a lot.
mhm.
So I seen OT. I'm like, yo, we gotta do some shit. So I'm playing him the project. He like, yo, I like this shit. He like, I'm fucking with this one. So I'm like, cool. So he pulls up a couple days later. We set the session up. He pulls up. I call him 27 flat now because he knocked this verse out in 27 minutes flat. That's my new name for OT Genesis, right? He pulls up and he's quiet as fuck, right? He's just chilling. Feel me? Bobbing like this. And he go, oh, I'm ready. So he go in the booth and it's just quiet, right? And all of a sudden he just cooked up pop on the south. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Where the fuck? I'm like, how the fuck did you hear that? Right? So he lays the shit. And one of my homies who's cool with Moneybag, my boy Dame, the boy Dame from the Bay, I've been telling him, like, man, I want to get Moneybag on something. You know what I mean? I really fuck with Moneybag. I like his style, I like his music, everything. He was like, he works with CMG close. He was like, send me a record. So I'm like, damn, it might make sense to send this one. I'm like, it might make sense to send this to Moneybag. Like, he got that southern bounce. So I send it to him. Moneybag sends a verse back. So then I'm like in there working on the song, and one of my big homies pulls up to the lab and he's on the phone with Too Short. And I'm like, what's up, Unc? Ooh, me and Short met a few times. So I'm like, pull up to the studio. His studio like 20 minutes from ours.
Mhm.
So he comes to the studio and me and Short making records, right? We just making fucking records. We make like 2 songs at night. Then he's like, it's some girls show up, right? There's girls in there, we drinking all the shit. So this girl like, cash app me something. She tell this dude cash app or something. And Short like, man, if I see another nigga send a bitch a cash app, I'ma slap his phone out his motherfucking hand. I'm like, I need you to say that on this
Get in
record
the
call.
yo, go
I'm
finish
like,
this record right now.
I'm like, say that right now, right? Say that right now. So I put it right before the OT verse just to
Right.
break it up a little bit, right? Boom. So I'm playing the song, and me and Justin are hella cool. Like me and Justin, the boy, like we literally are texting right now as I'm on here with you because we about to go to the studio tonight. And he had pulled up to the studio that the same night Short was in the booth. So I'm like, shit, you might as well go in there and say something. So he went in there and said it. And I was just like, shit sound good. Like, let's put it on the project. Like,
Print it, send it out.
mix it. Like, let's go. So
Get that
that
shit
literally
cleared.
happened. That literally happened like 4 days before the project came out.
Wow. That talk about a last minute. That's a good last minute addition though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, bro. So it worked out beautiful, bro. Shout out to Moneybag, OT, Justin LeBoy, and Too Short.
And obviously, okay, so we got the 2 Chainz and the Ty Dolla Sign record. Obviously,
Yeah,
those are quite literally like the
yeah,
biggest features on
yeah,
the project. How did
yeah.
how did those come about? How did those two records come about?
So me and Chainz actually met BET weekend 2019.
Okay.
We met. Dallas introduced us, and he was over at the studio that I work out of, and they was working on the True compilation because he had just brought his True label over to Atlanta. So we had, kind of got to know each other, man. I went over to his house and watched him record and just got to ask questions as far as what's his process of making a project, which I started applying to mine. And it was, a bunch of secrets he gave me, but one thing was just don't record with a certain destination in mind. Just fucking record and let it come together.
Mm.
And we just had conversations. So when I first heard the Big Homie beat, my boy Caston made it, and I heard this shit. I'm like, damn. I'm like, this shit sound like big amounts. I'm like, it
Oh,
sound like big amounts with Chainz and Drake.
yeah.
And they was like, damn it, dude, I never even thought of that. I'm like, yeah. So I'm listening to it, boom, and I just go in there, bro. Comparison, not to be arrogant. When you this good, you don't worry about narratives. Fuck your opinion of fetters. We went. My homie Kurt, he say some shit. He throw me a line, rings only, big trophy, big Tony. I done got Richard turned into my big homie. I'm like, there go the hook, boom, right? Lay the hook, go in there, lay the verse down. I hit Dallas. I'm like, yo, I think I got one for Chainz. So I
Mm.
sent it over to Dallas. Dallas sent it over to Chainz. Chainz hit back about a week or two later, man, sent the verse over. And bro, it was just like a moment of clarity for me. Like I said, same thing with the when I said it's like an NBA player getting drafted. It was a moment of validation that I belong. You know what I mean? The big homie blessed me. He's a legend in this shit. It's not like he's a new artist.
Right.
He's a legend. So he didn't have to do that at all. So the fact that he did that, man, came to the video, brought his team to the video. My homies met his homies. Me and his artist Sleepy Rose got music together. We working on a lot of shit. So it's just been a dope experience, man, with 2 Chainz.
That's amazing. How about the Ty Dolla joint? We're running out of time on the Zoom call, but real quick, how did you get the Ty Dolla record on there?
The Ty record came from Hitmaker. Hitmaker, we was in the
Okay.
studio. He played it, and I was like, bro, I need this. Send me this right now. It was structured a different way, and I got it. I restructured it, put my verses in, and there it was.
Man, I love that. And something I got to congratulate you on, and I came this close to forgetting to mention it. You are one of Complex's. There wasn't an exact number, but you were one of Complex's new artists to watch this year. Big gotta shout out my guy Radimus from New York. He's also on that list. How does
Yeah,
it feel to be one of Complex's artists to watch for 2021?
it feels great, bro. My brother, who unfortunately passed, Bugsy right here, RBC.
Rest in peace.
He unfortunately passed. We used to watch those lists every year and
Waiting
be
to
like,
get on
bro, we
it.
gonna get on there one year. We gonna get on there. So I wish he was here so we could just talk about it. But it's definitely a blessing, man. I love Complex for that. It's tough when you're a new artist trying to get acknowledged. So it's a blessing, man. Shout out to Complex.
Yo, man, just congratulations on everything. You've done so much these past 2 months, and I'm sure you're just kind of like still soaking it all in. And I know this might be a tough loaded question, but what's next for you in 2021? Like new project, like what else you got going on?
Another project, more music. A lot of creative ideas. I don't want to give them out, you know what I mean? But a lot of creative ideas, a lot of revolutionary ideas, new things I'm working on. But for the most part, music. A lot more music, a lot more content right now.
And since we still got a few minutes, I want to also ask you. Obviously you're with Atlantic. How does it feel now to be with like a label like Atlantic Records, and I guess why choose them?
For me, I come from a label. I was at Columbia first, and unfortunately, when I was there, the people who brought me in had left, and it was a regime change. So I kind of got lost in the sauce.
Mm.
So I was never a priority over at Atlantic. Dallas treated me like a priority from day one. You know what I mean? I never have issues trying to get music out. Never have issues getting in the studio. It's just always a full effort, a full team effort. I got a great team. Jamila, my product manager, my publicist, Jason Davis, Jamila Wright, you know what I mean, on my digital side, Shauna. I got a real great team, man. Shout out Julie, shout out Kaiser, shout out Craig. It's a blessing, bro. They really go hard. You would think with so many artists on the label, it's hard to manage a new one, but somehow they find a way to keep me on fire, bro.
Yo, this is I love all this, and I love how humble you are, and I'm happy that I always hear about unfortunately artists who get stuck in similar situations that you were stuck in when there's a regime shakeup, and then
Yeah,
people get lost through the crack through like the cracks, and it's not like entirely anybody's fault. It just happens that it's just like the switch up happens, things get lost in the sauce, and then things happen, and but you still landed on your feet at the end of the day.
exactly. That's the blessing about it, bro. Shout out to Colombia as well because they killing it over there with the new people that came in. You know, they doing some great things with Polo G over there, and
Mhm.
a lot of different artists is doing their thing. So shout out to them.
Yo, again, thank you for taking the time out of your day to chop it up with me. Congratulations on the project, the
Thank you,
complex stuff, all the interviews you've been doing, the new
thank you, brother.
the motion picture soundtrack. Congratulations on everything. Let the people know where they could follow you at. Anything else you want to plug in? Anything else you want to let them know? Now is the time to do it.
Man, you can follow me on all platforms at The Real Symba. That's TheRealSymba at The Real Symba. Find me on all platforms. My project, Don't Run From Rap, is out right now. Go get that big homie. Check out that Gotta Love It. We're working on getting the video together. So y'all look out for that, man. Shout out to you, brother, for having me. I can't wait till this pandemic is over so we could do this in person.
That's a
You know,
fact. Whenever that is.
yeah. But definitely thank you for having me, bro.
No, appreciate you, man. Simba on the radar, baby.
Appreciate you.